And
All
we're
right,
live.
that's it. There we go. There we go. What's happening, everyone? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to yet another client interview. Today, I'm joined by another one of our amazing clients who has been with us for a very long time and who I recently closed in the mastermind. So there's an operator becoming a salesperson. Mr. Gabriel Hooley. Is it Hooley or Julie? Gabriel. I never, in the
I
3 years I've
mean,
known you,
Juliet, but I mean, hey, French
yeah.
people anyway.
See, I got your first name right, but I butchered the surname, so I do apologize. But yeah,
You bet, all good, man.
that's it. But yeah, to people watching, this is going to be a great interview, because Gabriel has done incredibly well with our program. And yeah, Gabriel, over to you, man. Why don't you introduce who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you deliver to your clients, man?
Lovely stuff, man. Well, thanks a lot. I would like to preface this first and foremost that, well, I'm here because of EasyGrow. Like, I think it was like 2 years and something ago that I started EasyGrow. So I joined, as we checked the records before starting this out, June 2023.
Hmm.
Yes. And so when I started with EasyGrow, I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure this agency thing out. I was a entrepreneur, a agency wannabe for years. I started when I was 17 and I got EasyGrow when I was 22 to give you an idea. So it was a question of like trying general agency, like got hooked up on the Ty Lopez ads, 2015 or whatever that was. So that's how it all started. Then just got hooked on the thing, tried some variations of that through high school, doing video freelance, doing some of that. And at some point, I was like, okay, I gotta commit to something because stuff is not working now. I gotta figure something out. And I was like, okay, well, I had a few Charlie Morgan videos that I took a look at. I was like, man, damn, this looks pretty nice. Honestly, it looks pretty good. And I was like, okay, let's give this a try. Let's see how it goes. But before, I know it's gonna be like a high ticket stuff. I was in the space for enough that I'm gonna be like, it's gonna cost me something for sure. And I didn't have any money because I didn't have any clients that were sustaining it. So I was like, okay, I need to have some form of a business, quote unquote, some form of money to just at least pay for the program that's gonna help me to learn how to get more clients. So it took me 90 days, I reckon, to kind of like go through actually Charlie videos for free
Mm.
on YouTube, and kind of like did a basic DM slash cold email system that I did. I think I remember sending emails actually manually from my inbox, just like doing the thing, just some free YouTube videos from Charlie. But I was able to close. I think I did like 60 sales calls. I was so bad. Closed two clients, and I was like, okay. I'm going to go on a call now. So I end up going on a call with one of EasyGrow's rep. I was closed on the payment plan because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to need to figure this one out for sure. So I basically got the clients on board. But of course, when you got the clients on board and you got the money and you don't know how to deliver, you don't retain them well. So I basically lost the client after that when I started EasyGrow. So I just, basically kept doing the program for, I would say, 4 solid months just to really like understand, okay, complete mind shift. I had to do like to handle the basics first.
Hmm.
Did all of that, took the time it took. I only was doing that, and I was like, okay, let's just figure this thing out. Basically spent my last time on EasyGrow. November, I ended up signing my first client. Then I didn't get another client until March. And then I think on March I signed up four. And then it started going. I signed one a month, two a month. Started to get some form of that going. And then over time, I like you fast forward to I think the next September, October, I figured a niche out. I handled the thing, and now since then I've been consistently signing more than 4 to 7 clients a month since. And
Nice.
yeah, ultimately, like you fast forward a few months and we are there at 25, 30K per month, hovering over that and
Nice.
considering the next steps. And that's pretty much where we are. To give some context for the guys listening, I didn't give that earlier, but we are in the gym niche. Over time, we refined to the French gym niche because we saw that those were the best clients we've had. So we refined to the French markets, and that's, yeah, where we are right now.
There we are, man. Amazing stuff. And just for the people watching, Gabriel, you mentioned at the end there, when you first started with us, how much were you making on average?
Between 0 and 1.5k tops. Like it
There
was
we
a
go.
disaster.
Yeah, and then now fast forward to today, like you said, it's like 25 to 30K a month.
Yeah, between that,
Okay.
we did actually 35 in September, and then after that, like 25, 35, and I think this month we're gonna do 25 again. It's a lower month for the gym market.
Nice, man. Absolutely smashing it. So yeah, amazing stuff. Talk to me about what specifically you were doing before, because I know you mentioned you were trying to like you said to yourself, I'm going to figure this out on my own, which is what a lot of people do, to be fair, where it's like, right, let me just use YouTube, Google, whatever resources are available to
Mm.
them for free, right? Talk to me what specifically you were trying in terms of making it work yourself, which then drove you to the conclusion that do need structured help.
It was basically cold DM and cold email, but specifically, I would say the reason why I went and I was like, okay, it's not working, and I need some more help around that was the fact that there was no indications of what worked. And I mean, if we can actually go back to that,
Yep.
like there's a reason why actually at the time of this interview I rejoined like Imperium and I rejoined EasyGrow to the mastermind at this point. So we are at the
Mm-hmm.
next level. But just to show you that when you get people that actually are doing the R&D, testing out what works now, the price of the programs you're going to pay is going to be paid off in like it's going to take time to pay off at the specifically at the beginning because like you need to figure shit out. You are not adequate to have the business yet, but when you are there, like I know for a fact, like if I need an update on like, hey, like my cold email system is not working anymore, or my like cold Instagram system is not working anymore. I don't know what's working now as far as that goes. I just go there, I go to the source because like I know for a fact that this is what got me to 30K per month and it's gonna get me to the 100, 300K per month mark. So
Mm.
that was the same reasoning I had at the beginning. Like you get stuff from YouTube, it's like 2-year-old videos, kind of works, but like you're like, I definitely do something wrong. I'm definitely doing something wrong. And you also don't see the holistic approach that it is required. The thing that's good with EasyGrow, that was good when I started, and that's is even more true now, is the entire fact that you're like Charlie and Bo and everyone in the team at Imperium didn't left any stone unturned in the sense that what you didn't even thought you needed, but you still need to do to get there, you're gonna get it covered, and you didn't even know it yet, but that was probably the thing that you need to handle. Like handling the basics of knowing how to acquire clients, like testing, making sure you have the brain to see, like, of course I understand that, but like you don't have that conclusion before you go through EasyGrow. Now I know what to look for and I know how to do. I can see, but I wasn't able to see before.
Yeah, amazing, man. And it's kind of like when you try and figure out yourself, right? Especially with no prior business background, it's like you're operating blind.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying things and it's not working. But even so, even then, if it is working, you don't know why it's working. And that's problematic because, right, you don't know how to scale, you don't know how to switch, etc., etc. So after coming into the program, Gabriel, you're obviously coming off of the back of trying to figure out yourself. I think you, like you told me, you had like two or three clients that were on and off. Um, walk me through how you approached the program and how it sort of changed everything in the early days from your offer, your messaging, getting metrics in place and stuff like this, man. Talk to me about the early days.
Well, super simple. I was just like, hey, there is a guy that makes way more money than I do. And I
Yeah.
mean, like, lucky guy that I was, like, Charlie and Bo actually did a gym agency.
Yep.
Like, like their advice are incredible for any type of businesses if you just, well, are not a pessimistic fuck and actually look for it, I
Yep.
reckon, honestly. But for me, I was like, well, lucky me. Let's just go ahead and just be a dumb guy and just, well, just follow blindly what they told in the program. And that's it. Honestly, I just started with the fundamentals, and basically every single waking hour that I had, I was just breathing the fundamentals. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm starting to get it now. And when I went through that, in the meantime, or basically I was like listening 24/7 to just like the basics. And in my quote unquote like active time, when I was able to just like do stuff for my day, and I was not listening passively through just like the basics and the fundamentals, to just really ingrain them in my head, I was building out the systems for like outreach with cold email, cold DM, and all of that. So that's kind of like how I went through that. So that's the early days. And after that, it took me a solid, as I mentioned, basically when I started EasyGrow, it took me like 3 months to get a client. Did a bunch
Mm.
of sales calls, by the way. Like it took me a solid 20, 30 calls to get a client because I just
Yeah, yeah,
also was not good at sales. Like I got okay at sales, I reckon, after like 200 calls. So it took me there to be just to understand also the market, how they react, what they do react to, what buttons to push with them. That takes time and calls. And I basically went through there. And over time, as I mentioned, we gradually shifted to the French market because we saw, well, it's harder. It basically we're getting like, and actually after analyzing the data, that's one thing that Charlie told me. He's like, okay, like track the damn data, see what the fuck, like what's happening with your campaign. It's like, yeah, I'm getting appointments. I think it's working. I'm making money. I think it's good. I took a look at the data actually, and I compared the returns on the French market for us and the English markets. And we thought we were getting 8 times the results on the French markets, outreach
mm-hmm.
wise.
Yeah,
Close rate was also 2 times higher.
yeah,
And we were retaining them like 2 to 3 times higher. So I was like, well, let's just focus on that. But I wouldn't have known how to do that if I didn't know how to track metrics, how to do a proper test, what systems to use, and just hanging on there for like 4 to 6 months, just barely hanging on because I just like I'm gonna make this work. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
all of that was given through Easy Grow at the time for me. So that's been very valuable for that.
yeah. Amazing stuff, man. Yeah, brute force. There's only so much brute force can do. Brute force partnered with strategy, then you can win. And the
Hmm.
strategy is actually reading the metrics, knowing what to track, understanding what they're telling you, knowing when to scale, knowing when not to scale, which is something that people don't look at. By having these things in mind, it just provides you with a lot of clarity. And it's like you now have control over your business, Gabriel, compared to before you joined the program, right? Where if something's going right, you know why it's going right, and you can make the decision to scale it up. Or if something's going wrong, you no longer panic because you just look at the numbers and you just fix it, right?
Completely. And like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy to really try to, for this person watching this video that might be, starting at their first like 5K, like 8K per month, just to kind of like try to transmit you the feeling that it feels like where I am now. It's clearly where, like, imagine right now, like when you go wake up and just like go like to wherever, like you just go to your living room, you just walk. Like you don't even think about walking or running for that fact.
Yeah,
But try to imagine now that I just snap my fingers and now you have to think conscientiously on how to walk back again.
yeah,
It's exactly the same way now. It's so natural to me, the thinking, I just know exactly what to do, how to do, like the intuition. It comes like with intuition because I learn how to think through Easy Grow. But if I get back to me like about a year and a half from where we are right now, I just like it's like I didn't know how to walk because similarly to that, if we take the analogy, I didn't know how to think. And it's just as debilitating as it is. It looks big, but honestly, when it's the only thing that you want to do is build a business, it's that important. The gap of understanding and being able to understand, like I'm like my brain is not the same. Now I
yeah,
can see, as I mentioned, I just know what to do. And I'm like, okay, I want to double the business. I know what to do. When before you're just like, how the fuck can I get like 500, $500? You know what I mean? And that's so comforting in the sense that, now you have control over your life. Now you know
hmm,
what to do. And you feel like you actually did something. And when you've been, which I guess a lot of young guys, or older guys, whoever is watching this, when you've tried for so long and it always failed because it always do until it doesn't, when you feel in control, it still feels surreal. Like for me, it's like I'm actually like doing this thing and I'm just creating like I created this entire universe of things that people like. I'm helping people out for a good cause. And it's all through what I did. And it's like, wow, like
Mm,
it's super surreal. And
yeah,
I'm eternally grateful,
yeah,
honestly.
amazingly put. And on that note, I had a coach who she was coaching me about this. It's like sometimes you get a sense of imposter syndrome where everything's going so well and you're wondering, oh, I'm doing this. Your identity is playing catch up because
Yeah.
you got your success, but your identity is lagging slightly behind. And then eventually it's like, oh, right, we're here. So no, that's amazing, Gabriel. One thing I wanted to touch on there, you mentioned something very important. You're able to think for yourself.
Mm.
So this is powerful because with a lot of programs, right? They always teach use this magic script, this magic word on a sales call, this magic outreach system, or this magic DM process, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff, right? It's very process driven, and me and you both know there's no such thing as a magic, golden bullet or whatever the saying is to get you the success you want, right? What is magical is being able to think for yourself because that means you can come up with things that are timeless. So if the economy changes, if there's changes in technology, for example, with AI or something like that, you don't panic because you're able to adjust. So talk to me specifically about how you found acquisition genesis in your experience, because that module specifically, it teaches everyone in the program how to be able to think for themselves so that they're not a slave to scripts, strategies, etc. And they can basically evolve, man. So talk to me about your experience with that.
I watched it completely, I would say more than 3 times for sure. I might have went through like honestly, like maybe like on certain videos that I really needed to like get a grasp of, like the one with the cognitive biases. I just like went through that one a lot. I love this one a lot. Asymmetric psychological leverage. I think that's what it's
Yeah,
called, or
yeah.
something like that. So it's even like after like a year and a half, like you can't like make this up. Like I just like got the name, and I mean Charlie is good at getting some badass names. So like
Yeah,
getting this one out of, out of my head,
some funky names.
indeed. But for to get back to your question, it's the thing. Like you can pay like 500, like maybe a couple of thousands of dollars to get a good script that works. Realistically, it's gonna work for like a quarter,
Yeah.
a year if you're lucky. What I have now, which is this big brain over there, this big face that you're seeing, is timeless and nobody can take it away from me. And to be transparent, like if I'm playing devil advocate, but yeah, okay, so why did you rejoin EasyGrow, Gabriel? Huh? The reason is because I want to go faster, bro. I'm like, okay, I just want to have the basically life on the easy way. That's
Hmm.
basically it. Instead of like trying to figure stuff out, I'd rather have Charlie and Bo just telling me, yeah, do that, or don't do that. Don't bother. Like you already did it. And like basically from like I reckon just the onboarding call we did for the mastermind with Charlie and Bo just like covers the cost of like the mastermind, just like that. Honestly, like like to be fully transparent, I'm like, okay, now I just know what to do, and basically, like like just do the math. I'm at 30K per month. I want to go to 100. I can comfortably go to 100K.
Yeah.
Let's say in the next 12 months. Like, what would you pay for that? Because I'm gonna do that this year and the next year and the next year and the next year without a fail, and even more than that. So what is it going to be worth then? Whatever number you put in your head, well, understand that whatever investment you're going to put with Imperium is going to be lower than whatever you're going to be able to get if you follow the steps they laid out.
Yeah. Well said. And then it comes back to like what we just spoke about there, being able to think for yourself, where for people watching, Gabriel and all the clients that you see on these interviews, they're not tied down to script, strategies, etc. Like Gabriel can just adjust his script when needed or come up with a
Hmm.
new copy if needed, because when you understand the how behind things, you have full power, control, and autonomy over everything. But if you're just copying and pasting without understanding what's going on, when that script stops working, you're left clueless and you're not going to be able to adapt there. So, no, well put, Gabriel. Gabriel, talk to me about when you joined the program, right? Even up until now, how are you currently how are you currently generating appointments? And what was the difference in terms of how many appointments you're generating now compared to before joining the program, man?
Well, before the program, I was generating one call every 2 weeks, something like that. Like maybe like tops. Maybe I had some weeks where like, oh, I had two calls. Wow. Damn, Gabriel, client acquisition master. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I mean, I only knew that at the time. That's when you get started. That's fine. You know what I mean? And now, fast forward to today. I mean, I don't have a week. Like we had to cut off some because we actually had too much demand at some point. We actually had to cut off client acquisition. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I mean that's the problem we had because like I was actually, and you know when a program is good at teaching you client acquisition, when you are able to switch from having too much demand to now having to focus on being able to offer your
of
services.
course.
Like
Yep.
this is when you know that okay, you've got something going on right because now I basically was lacking team members to handle the demand. But
Yep.
guess what? What did I do? Well, I did took the same principles for client acquisition for talent acquisition, and it kind of worked. I got 70 members in a week,
Hmm.
so it kind of worked. So to answer your question, now if I want to turn it up, of course, like the goal is to like 10x basically what we're doing right now. But if I basically I just like take a list of emails, and to be honest, I've been lazy the last couple of weeks. I just take a list of emails, and I'm just like, honestly, those poor guys. I just send them an emails every 2 weeks. Poor guys. I just create a new copy that I know is
Yep.
gonna kind of work, and I just book like 2 3 calls, just like from
Yep.
sending a lazy email, automated it. I just like get calls, and I just like one or two clients, and there you go. And I just honestly I've been kind of lazy about it, which is why I'm like, okay, I need some like
Yep.
higher level stuff now. You know what I mean?
That's it. No, that's super fun, man. So it's just emails at the moment. And I know you were running DMs before, right? Or you still doing that?
Emails, yeah, emails and cold DMs. So cold
Yep.
DMs, yeah. I mean, we've been running the kind of like the same play since we left EasyGrow like a year and a half
Yep.
ago. And that's like honestly, actually, to get back at some timeline at some point because it is gonna teach a very important point.
Hmm.
So when I started getting some clients, as I mentioned, so I sign up a client in November, then March I get four, and then I get I think one or two in the next couple of months. But June, July are very dry for the gyms. Was not great at service delivery. I had to process a few refunds and actually did a negative revenue, not even negative profit, negative revenue. I think I was 1,300 euros in the hole for the month of June 2024. That must be then. So, okay, that's fun. So me and my girlfriend at the time, now wife, I remember we just took some papers, put it down on the floor and be like, okay, what can we do? Like, how are we going to be
Hmm.
able to survive this? Because we're like, okay, if we just are able to survive like 1 or 2 months, we know that August is going to come. August, the gyms are going to get ready for September, which is a big month. And September's, with the model we have, we're going to make a budget of money because we're going to get a bunch of commission. So how can we survive there? How can we go through that? And she just took the DM systems that I was running. And honestly, we were such in a rush. I was like, babe, I need you to get me
Yeah.
clients. I'm gonna figure the email stuff out. You figure the DM stuff out. Like, we gotta figure this out. And from like honestly, she carried the company for the entire summer. Like without her,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't be here today. And just to give you an idea of like, I gave her a system that I just learned, and I was like worst teacher at the time. I was like, I just like do it. Just copy paste that thing, do it that way,
Yeah.
fill out those tracking sheets, and just do it. Like I think she got me like 3 or 4 clients.
Mm. That's
And
it.
that's the thing that say honestly that saved our ass. And to this day, like she's the reason this company is still alive. Now we are better off, obviously, finally. But I mean that's just to showcase like I'm not like a prodigy or some like just like guy that
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
is like smart. Like I give it to like honestly, like she's a housewife. Like she does and she's incredible at it, but she's not like any savant of client acquisition. She just like
Yeah.
took a system, did
Put the
it.
system.
She had the will to make it work, and
Hmm.
she listened to EasyGrow with me because she really liked the aspect of how it makes you grow and evolve as a human being, and she just it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it. And you know what's amazing about that, Gabriel? Like you just said there, where your wife, at the time, she wasn't familiar with this online world and whatnot. Like you said,
Yeah,
she's just responsible for looking after you, the home and whatnot, and she's not
yeah,
familiar with the online world. But the system is so simple, right? Where you were able to, in your words, teach it in a bad way, and she was still able to get 4 clients from it. And it's like,
yeah.
wow, like it still worked.
For sure. And I mean, that's also, and it's also true at any levels. Like, for example, now what we agreed with Bo and Charlie was to build like a real quote unquote appointment setter. It's not just me sending a couple of emails, like having proper cold callers do stuff. And now I just took one of my guys that I hire in the past, and in like 2 weeks, he's ready to cold call. But
Mm-hmm.
like not like just like, hey, like end of the phone and be shit at it. Like honestly, I would buy from the guy. And it's just, I literally took the script from EasyGrow,
Yep.
translated in French because I'm French,
Yep.
took the EasyGrow objections, handling things, drilled them on that, use the power data systems from EasyGrow, put them on that. And that's it. Just get some leads in the thing, and there you go. So, it's
Yep.
not hard when you go through the thing. If you give yourself like 6 to 9 months, and I mean 6 is gonna be the lower end, but if you honestly be like, okay, I'm gonna be 9 month minimum, 12 month at least. That was the thing for me. If you just give yourself the time and every single day you just live and breathe it, like whatever those guys give you, you will be fine.
Yep.
You will be more than fine, honestly.
Yep. Gabriel, do you know what I remember? I'm pretty sure this was you. You were doing daily updates in EasyGrow for a while. Do you,
100%.
it was yeah, yeah. So for people watching, this is what I mean about Gabriel, where he brute force with strategy and wanted public accountability. He was literally making daily public posts with, what he was doing for a while when he was here. And then it was amazing to see his progress. And one thing I specifically remember from what you said in this interview, Gabriel, is the sales side of things, where you said you weren't good at sales, and sometimes it took like 30 calls to get your first client, right? Talk to me about that specific evolution, because a lot of people watching this right now, they'll have the same kind of limiting beliefs where it's like, oh, I'm not good at this now. That means I'm never going to be good at it, right? Whether it's appointment setting, sales, whatever. You're someone who admitted that in all areas, you're not good at appointment setting, but I'm going to figure it out. You're not good at sales, but you figured it out. Just talk to me about that mindset, man, and how you approached it to get to where you are now.
Tell you what, I'm going to give you some even more interesting context. So it was even harder for me because I thought I was great at sales. Because I was one of those guys when he was little, maybe your mom told you that or something like that. Oh, like I just talk a lot. As you can probably see from this interview, I
Yep.
talk a lot.
Me and you both.
And indeed, like,
That's
and
it.
and the thing is, I thought, I can talk a lot. I can talk my way into things kind of. I'm
Yep.
gonna be fine. Well, all and behold, like 90 calls after that, I realized it was not quite the case. So I was like, okay, I need to do something. So what did I took as action? So as No mentioned, number one, I was on I wanted to have daily accountability just to showcase to the community and just to have another little reason to be like, hey guys, I'm doing this thing. Just like roast me, whatever you do, but just like I'm here and I'm doing this and just making sure I live I put all the things on my side to make sure I succeed. So I did that daily post. I did videos and all that, talking about the progress and the stuff I did. Like I didn't need to do that, and I don't think anyone in EasyGrow, from my knowledge, did it. But I just did it because
Yep.
it gave me an additional reason to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna figure this out." So for sales calls, it was honestly super easy. I'm thinking about three things. Number one, figuring out appointment booking is, I would say, the main thing, because if you have, and even sometimes like when I paused client acquisition and I got back at it, like you feel rusty after a week of no sales calls for sure.
Yep.
So making sure you get, for me, that was my minimum, was like 2 3 sales calls a week minimum. Like if you get that, you're going to be fine. You're going to at least maintain, but it's going to make you progress. So figuring that out, at least getting that going first, is the first piece. And the more appointments you do, the better you're gonna be at it. Like the more steps you do, the more gonna know, how to walk. That's pretty much the exact same thing. Every single skills you learn to this point in life, which, and by the way, you're gonna keep doing that for the rest of your life, you did the same thing. You were bad at it, you were at it, then you were like, okay, kind of figuring this out, and then you were okay, and then you're good, and then you're great. If you want to become then to the mastery stages, it's exactly the same thing. So I did make as many appointments as I could possibly get. Second, I was on every sales coaching calls I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
Yep.
Even if it was not for reviewing my calls, just listening to what the guys were saying, just to understand, okay, this is how they answer questions. This is how I do role plays. And I was, every single time I was trying to get on role plays. Some points I remember the guys are like, come on, Gabriel, already went like the other time, like get the other guys on. Like, you know what I mean? But every single time I had the occasion to be the prospect or the guy that was trying to close the person, I always tried to be there. Just try to get
Got it.
like as much practice in as possible. Goes back with the appointment thing. And I mean, like that's kind of like the foundation of it all. I just follow the process. I just took your script. I'm using it to this day. Like just the same process, the same scripts from the sales module at the time. And I was closing at 82% in the British market, which told me the process was so good and the product was so good that I needed to increase my price. And I'm at 50% with the exact same scripts, which I'm gonna increase my price again just to make more money. And that's it.
Yeah, amazing stuff, man. And it's just as simple as holding yourself accountable and doing the work and actually showing up to the coaching calls, actively getting feedback and executing, which you always done and still continue to do so. So amazing stuff, man. Gabriel, talk to me about how the business looks right now, man, in terms of you, your team structure, how many clients you got. And yeah, it'd be good to hear on that upside of things about how you fulfill and all that stuff.
For sure. So now we have about, I would say, 16, 18 team members between that. I think I would say 16 is a fair number. We have so my wife that's in the business. We are gonna have a baby this summer. So the goal is currently to kind of like grow the business so we don't need her to be in the business if she wants to. But like
Hmm.
she's gonna be free to do whatever she wants. After that, I have two devs that are helping us to automate parts of the businesses. That's more like a future investment that I'm doing just to make sure I future-proof the business with AI,
Good stuff.
diminish cost of stuff. You know what I mean? So just trying to diminish, just to automate as many things as possible to not have like a bloated team structure and just like processes that takes forever to do. So that's what we have. Then we have currently a call center manager, I think 9 ISAs,
Hmm.
and one of them is going to be moved. Actually, one of them moved to a setter because it was such a good ISA that I just took them. I was like, no, now you're going to call James because you're already good. So we got him
Nice.
there. So one setter. Probably going to have another one or two. I've got a medium buyer slash ops guy that does everything that's handled on the client delivery service delivery side, and two VAs, two part-time VAs. So that's like the team structure we have right now. And after that, I honestly I never know, but I reckon between 30, let's say lower end 25 to 36 client active now. I reckon at the
Nice.
time of this video.
Nice. Perfect. And in terms of the goal, man, I know your goal, but why don't you tell the people watching, man, what's the goal and when do you aim to hit it?
The goal is ultimately to reach 300K per month with a more than 50% margin, dominate the French market as the reference for gym, basically gym, whatever you want, like client acquisition, talent acquisition, whatever you want. So that's the long-term goal. The goal for the next 12 months is going to be to get to 100K per month with similarly like more than 50% profit margin. Actually, when I got the first thing Charlie told me on the call was like I'm just gonna dump a lot of stuff at you because I know what we're gonna be doing because like we did it. And for your goal, it's super clear and you might be able to reach it sooner than you think
Hmm.
in less than 12 months. So I was like, okay, let me take some notes. And now we're just implementing. So that's where we're at right now. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Good. Good stuff. So to people watching this, this is going to be a part one, and if Gabriel's not too busy for me in a year's time, we'll definitely get a part two in. So yeah, great
We will
stuff.
definitely for sure do that.
100%. Gabriel, before we wrap up, man, I want to actually touch on the mindset side of things. Okay, so
Mm.
how does version one of Gabriel look like compared to the version that I'm speaking to right now? Like, what identity shift did you have to make in order to succeed? So I know that's a pretty vague question, but like, were there any specific limiting beliefs you had that you've completely broken to now have the success that you have now?
You can actually do it. You can actually go through stuff because, like, the thing is, after like 5 or 6 years of just like watching YouTube videos and like basically procrastinating about having a business, you're doing a lot of harm to yourself in the sense that you're like, your brain's like, I have the skills. You don't. But I'm not making it a reality yet. So that fucked up my brain a lot.
Mm,
And now, the Gabriel you have in front of you now is at peace with his ability to do that, to have control in his life, to do good for his loved ones, while having a positive impact.
yeah,
And the just do it thing is just sound, and I'm able to do it. Like, those kind of stuff sounds cliche, but that's something I would think of myself thinking whenever I would be at this stage watching me saying that right now.
yeah,
Yes, but if everyone ahead of you is saying that, you might be wrong. And I would say if you are not where you want to be now, you are wrong because the way you interact with reality currently gives whatever the fuck you have right now. And if you are not happy with that, it means that you've got to change something. And ultimately, you have to change. And you have to be kind of dumbly obsessed with it for a while.
yeah, yeah,
But if you commit to it, honestly, if you just say,
yeah.
like, it sounds like, in retrospect, from where I'm at right now, the year of struggling figuring stuff out because I have to learn stuff is the best thing I ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's easy. Not easy
Mm,
in the sense that like now life is figured out. I still want the challenge and I would go through the next thing to go through the next challenge and do the next thing always. But now it's not the same thing that fulfills me. I was driven by fear and imposter syndrome when I was starting. Now I'm driven by peace, being able to do what I want
mm-hmm.
and fulfilling the potential that I'm like, okay, now I cannot deny that I can do this thing. And if I have to wrap this up in like a sentence, we went around a lot with it's not going to be a sentence, but we went around a lot with the fact of like, hey, I'm able to do stuff now. For me, this was the thing that brought me peace. I felt I actually wanted to have like a 10, 12, 15K per month business. But
Yep.
when I actually went there and I got there, you know what I realized? That's actually funny. That's like fucked me up for like a couple of weeks. You know what I realized that I actually wanted? To prove myself that I was
You
actually
could
able
do.
to produce something of value
Yep, 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 yep,
and
yep.
show to myself that I was right. Not in like a, oh, I'm right kind of sense, but
Yeah, yeah.
like, hey, you took a bet and you can be proud of yourself for that.
Yeah, amazing. Completely resonate with that final part, man, because that's a personal realization I had as well with my coach. You want like a lifestyle based income, where it's
Mm.
like 20, 30K, whatever, but then you actually want to get to like 100, 200, 300K a month, not for the money, just to prove to yourself you can, and that's it. That's it. So yeah, and another thing I love about what you said there, Gabriel. Your first answer in terms of the mindset shift, very simple. was you can
Mm,
do it. And I think a powerful question for everyone to ask themselves, especially to people watching this who are probably having some doubts right now. There's a basketball player, his name is Russell Westbrook, and his go-to saying is why not? So
mm.
when you actually sit down and ask yourself why not, and actually go as far as saying why not me to emphasize it even more, why not me? And you actually ask yourself that, you will start coming up with reasons. And actually, it's unreasonable for you not to succeed. It's just in your head. Because the reasons you put on paper, it's actually solvable, as to why you think you can't achieve it. We just don't take the time to ask ourselves, why not me? So if you're watching this right now, always ask yourself, why not you? And then you'll find out that actually you're in a better place than you think you are in order to achieve what you want. So now, well said, Gabriel. Absolutely love it. Gabriel, as we wrap up this interview, man, um, before we wrap it up, sorry, one final question for you specifically. So you would have
Mhm.
joined you joined our program almost 3 years ago now. Like it's 2 years and
Mhm.
6 months to be specific. You had a
Yeah.
call with Jack Roberts specifically. Shout out to Jack,
Mhm.
who's also a mastermind client now. Actually,
The
he's doing
goat,
amazing,
man.
the best, the very best. Um, you would have joined that call, and he would have given you the infamous sales question. He would have said, "Gabriel, what are your goals?" and blah blah blah, and how would it feel if you achieved this, right? Fast forward 30 months later,
Mm.
you're living in the UAE, you've got a beautiful wife, you've got a beautiful baby to be, you've got full control over your business, you're at peace, and now you're operating from a place of abundance and wanting to prove to yourself that you could do what you want to do, not because you need to do it, right? You're not in survival mode, you're living. Simple question. How does it feel, man?
1,000 times better than whatever what basically whenever Jack asked me the question, it's like, oh, it seems nice. Well, imagine that feeling like 1,000 million times,
Yeah,
pretty much. Like
yeah,
that's pretty much it. Like you would only, and that's the thing that's going to be hard for anyone watching this at the beginning of their journey. You will only be able to feel what I feel when you go through the journey.
oh,
You
yeah,
cannot understand and fathom how incredible it's going to be at the end. You just have to suffer a while. And I mean, honestly, it's like 1,000 times worth it. So fucking do it. And anyone can do it.
yeah.
And I firmly
That's
believe that.
There we go. I love it, man. Love it. Now, as we close off the interview, two groups of people, they'll typically watch this, right? The
Mhm.
first of which are current clients, the second of which are people that have yet to join the program. Maybe they're similar to you, Gabriel, where they're probably trying to do it themselves and all that stuff before you join, right? Let's talk to the current clients first, the current members of EasyGrow Nirvana, whatever it may be. What would your advice to be to those existing clients, man, in terms of succeeding and making the most out of the program and getting to where you are, essentially?
I really like the frame that Alex Almosi taught me is try to be the best student at whatever you do.
Hmm.
So I'm genuinely trying, well, like whenever I'm in this interview in the mastermind or in EasyGrow, I mean, at the time I did with the means that I had mentally and physically, but I genuinely try to be the best student that I can, becoming the best case study of the person. And that involves like, okay, you take that term and what does it involve? Like you're going to follow the things, you're going to stay accountable to your words, you're going to do all of the other things and make sure that, you do the actions. And I mean, it's going to depend widely on whatever you do, but that's what I try to say whenever I go in to learn something. I generally try to be the best student that I can.
Love it, man. Well said. And then for people that have yet to join the program, right? Almost as if you're speaking to yourself 3 years ago, right? What would you say to people that are thinking about it? Maybe they had a sales call, but they're still doing their due diligence, or maybe they've just come across our, brand and have yet to book a call with us, man. What would you say to them in terms of your 3 years of, or around 3 years or 2 years working with us, man?
Well, if you are still watching this video to this point and you are hearing me and Noah having this discussion and exchanging those words, you know what to do.
Yeah,
Like you've been going and hesitating and giving yourself reasons why it's not going to work. As Noah said, why not? Why not? Like actually, Send me a message. Like, no one's going to give my contact information. Actually, reach out to me and give me the reasoning why you cannot. Like, go ahead, give me the reasons. And you will realize pretty soon that it's fucking dumb. You're lying to yourself. Don't be so dumb to yourself. Like, you are hurting you. I don't know if you like it, but I mean, I don't like even like it for you. So
Nope.
stop and just know that whatever you're going to do, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Like that phase that I mentioned, like it's like, oh, I was at zero and I'm like 30. Yeah, it sucked for like 2/3 of the journey, maybe 3/4, honestly.
Yeah.
But when you are there, the immense, like you cannot even understand the feeling and the achievements that you're going to be able to do. Like if I were to get like just travel back to time and just talk to old Gabe, like, hey Gabe, because when I actually bought EasyGrow, I didn't even meet my wife. I'm gonna be like, hey, in 3 years from now, you're gonna be married, like have a baby on the way, have a 30K per month business. I'll be like, what the fuck are you
Bro, it's
on, man?
insane. It's
But this
insane.
is what this can happen. Like this is what can
Yeah,
happen. And life
man.
is weird, man. I'm telling you, whenever you decide to go a certain direction, all of a sudden everything starts to go right. But you have to suffer and you have to commit.
Yeah,
And when I say commit, it's not like, yeah, I'm doing it, and then the next day you're falling off. You will do it day and night, every single day, until it's unreasonable for you to not basically take a look at results and like, man, fuck, I did it. And that's
yeah,
it.
man. So good, man. So, so good. And that reminds me of another Hormozy quote. Uh, People overestimate what they can do in 1 year. They underestimate what they can do in 10. And when he first said that, it was I think it was in his book, and I think he may have mentioned it in a few of his videos. But when he said, it, I'm like, wow.
Mm,
Wow. Because you can feel like you're losing for 3 years and you feel like you're down and out, but it's like, nah, play for 10 years. And on the
for sure.
sixth year, you can blow up. Like, to people watching, look at Gabriel. He's not lying. Like, in 3 years, he's got a beautiful wife, beautiful baby, fantastic business, complete evolution, right, Gabe?
I would not even have dreamt about that. Like it's been like that. Like whatever
Yeah,
I set it as far as goals and some more. And it's always gonna be that if you commit to it. And like the reason why we like when we say that it might not resonate with you, and not just say this almost quote, but it will whenever you just commit for again a year, good year, like day in, day out, you give every cell of your being to commit to do that. And if you do that, the results will tell you, and then you will be able to have that
that's
reflection
facts.
and understand. Then I understand. I understand what those
Yeah.
guys means now. You have to commit. You have to start.
100%. And the best sort of metaphor I can compare it to is like the stock market, right? Everyone says after you put your first 100K in, that's when it starts going,
Yeah.
all over the place. It's like here, then poof. And it's the same when you're trying to build something, you're putting all that sweat equity in, where it could be flat, it could even be down. But then all of a sudden on the third, fourth year, and then you wonder, whoa, what's happened there? It's the same thing that happened with Gabriel, where again, through the through the standard level, the down level, he put so much sweat equity in. And then as you just said there, Gabriel, everything came and everything is starting to come now, after all that hard work you put in, man. So yeah.
And to give you a little bit more of an analogy to show you how quick it can go in, when the exponential curve hits, it hits hard. Like we talk about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about even less than that. What are we? November. Let's talk about August of this year. So like what, 3, 4 months like ago?
Yeah.
3, 4 months ago. So I was still living at my parents with my wife. Just we were getting married this month. We were saving up to move here in the UAE.
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, we gotta save up some money. Not sure if we're gonna be able to hit it. We were able to hit the target of money we needed to save to be here comfortably. I mean, look at like the thing. I'm not like not spending on like stuff. I've been pretty lavish to be honest. But 3 or 4 months ago, I was living at my parents' house with my wife, feeling like a total failure. And you know what the thing was, Nor? I just was like, okay, and it was the thing that unlocked the business for me. By the way, little tip: do that earlier if you need to. I was like, tell you what, we're 12K per month, 12 to 12 or 15. Let's just double the price of what we do.
Oh yeah,
Because
we spoke about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you know, 82% closing rate. I might be good, but I'm not that good. You know what I mean? And I increase the price, and all of a sudden we go from 12 the next month, what 25? And
Yeah.
then you're like, "Eh." And that was like we booked the flights for October 12th. That was like we did this number at September 30th, like 10 days before going to the UAE. So like when you commit and you have to figure it out, you will figure it out, like for
Yeah.
sure. Like God will put like whatever you believe in. Like for us, God put it the steps in front of us. We were grateful to have some great people, the Imperium team, showing us the ropes and just like giving us the thinking to be able to have even this idea in the first place. Like, like let's say I didn't went through that, I wouldn't be able to have the business acumen to be like, yeah, of course, increase the price. You're closing too much, dumbass. And I
Mm.
mean, that was the thing. Like, if I were not to have done that, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. So you can even talk to Shotos, like, just think about like what the fuck did I did like 4 months ago? Had some beers with the boys, like did some dumb stuff, like whatever you did. Like I was
Yo.
at my parents, man. Like it can happen that quick if you just commit, but you have to do like a good year and
Yep.
a half of, figuring stuff out before that. But then it goes fast when you're there.
That's it, man. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, Gabriel, where can these people find you, man?
So they can find me on Z, so Z Gabriel Juliet. So if you can take a look at the way my name is written, because I'm not going to try to spell it for you French people, man.
You're
I'm
all
just
good.
not going to try to spell it for you. The Gabriel Juliet, pretty much. You can search it up on Instagram. You're going to be able to find me. If you have any doubts, anything, any fears, whatever it is, like DM me. Don't be scared. I'm not going to eat you. I will be like, even if you need to get on a call to chat about it, like, go ahead. Like, honestly, it's you against you, but sometimes, like, I know for a fact, like, you need someone that's further ahead than you to just say it to you straight. Go ahead. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good for it. To your success, my friend. And yeah, just like honestly,
Yeah.
like if you're looking to this video, like, what the fuck have you not bought, man? Like, come on. You're doing yourself a
Mm,
disservice.
yeah.
They should be getting me as a closer for
I was
EasyGrow and all
I was
that,
just
man.
I was just about to say if you guys if you're watching this if you go to Gabriel we haven't even hired him yet but if some of you close we may bring him on
I
board.
mean, I paid
Just
those guys a lot, but like just to give you as a testament, I paid them more than 10K, like definitely more than 10K,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still set at giving their money away. It might be good enough.
Yeah.
Book a
He's
call, do the stuff. You know what to
That's
do.
it.
Go ahead.
That's it. There we are. So guys, I'm gonna leave Gabriel's details in the description. And Gabriel, thank you so much for being open to do that, man. Really appreciate it. So yeah, to people watching this right now, I'll end with my famous outro, which I know you'll absolutely love, Gabriel, because
Let me know. Hit
you're a
me with it.
guy that's achieved you took a long time to achieve the success the right way, right? And I'm not saying to people that achieved it quickly done it the wrong way. It's just I always have sentiment to people that like Gabriel who took very long to do it. If you're watching this video right now and you've seen what's going on in the internet, you've seen these advertisements of guys on the beach with a Hawaiian shirt who open up their laptop and then they're millionaires overnight and they got 100K in Stripe and all this stuff and they close their laptop and they have a strawberry daiquiri and they or whatever it's called or like a mojito or whatever and they sit on the beach and do nothing and then they're trying to sell you something by saying you can become a millionaire or you can become a six-figure earner in 6 weeks or in 1 month or blah blah blah. I'm here to tell you guys, unfortunately, we can't help you do that, okay? I'm going to be very transparent with you. We don't sell a magic get rich quick scheme where you can have a pill and overnight you're rich. Sadly, we don't do that. If you do find a get rich quick pill that you can have and all of a sudden you're rich overnight, send it my way. Okay? Send it my way.
Hey, I
And
wanted to hit me up, man.
send it to
Come
Gabriel.
on.
You got Gabriel's details on YouTube. Send it our way, okay? Now, in all seriousness, if you're someone that's watching this, however, and you're willing to follow a proven framework, a proven roadmap, and have the necessary support by your side to achieve the success that you want to achieve, whether it's starting your own business or scaling your existing one up, and you're willing to put in the necessary sweat equity required, just like Gabrielle did here, then we can probably help you out, okay? And the reason why I say probably is because, again, I'm not going to say we can help anyone and everyone out, which is why a call is required. So, if you're someone that's still thinking about it, you're on the fence, you're doing your due diligence, this is the 115th client interview that we've done. not including part twos. So if you still need to
Come
think
on, man.
about
What the fuck are you doing at this
if
point?
you
Come on.
if you still need to think about it, there's 114 other interviews across different verticals you can check out. Um, on the other hand, if you've just come across and you want to do some due diligence before you book a call, honestly, feel free to watch some more interviews, but just book a call because then we can assess whether you're a good fit based off of your business model and based off of your goals, and then we can see if we can help you further. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the client interview, guys. Like I said to you, I'm going to mark this as a part one. Gabriel's joined our mastermind, and he was closed by yours truly. I shamelessly got to get that in again,
Yeah,
Gabriel.
boy.
There we go, there we go. So yeah, jokes aside, we're gonna do a part two, probably in a year's time. We're gonna do a full year of with working with Gabriel on the mastermind, and so keep an eye out for part two. But yeah, hope you guys found this one valuable. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.